Welcome back to this brand new special Christmas coffee tech break with Jan. I think I got another great video for you lined up today because I want to take you through Let's get started now with the update on the video providers. And the first video application which we're going to start with is Teams. As there's a lot of developments going on with the video application, so it's good to give you an overview with every new version. So what is new, how to update, how to use the different features and functionalities, etc. Now, with version 4.4, we're bringing along Teams app 0804 and usually mention the last 4 digits of this application. On the company portal side, we're bringing along the 6061. So that is still the company portal that works with the Android device administrator. So this will change throughout the new year, and I will keep you updated on that because as soon as we go to AOSP, this will be replaced by 2 other applications. But the time is not there yet. As soon as this is available, of course, I will bring out a new video to keep you updated on that. Now, meanwhile, Microsoft already brought out some newer versions. So through Teams Admin Center, you're able to update your device as well as at the Studio X, as well as the touch panel, update that to the newer versions. And there's also the Teams admin agent had also newer versions. So if it's not available in the PolyOS versions of the PolyOS software, you can always update that specifically through Teams Admin Center. So keep that in mind. Now, what is new with 4.4? So we got a lot of exciting news, a lot of new Teams certified devices. And Teams certifications is not only a tick in the box, a lot of testing going on behind the scenes. Means that through Windows updates, those devices could get updates. So for example, the V52, V72, if you hook that up to Teams Room device, Teams Room device will recognize those devices and is able to update that. So I think really powerful to have those certifications there. And the other devices like the new X series 2nd gen, also Teams certified, so it will be recognized by Teams Admin Center, similar with the G62 and that small Android codec where you can hook up all different devices, all new certified. So I could just say, just keep on tuning in on my channel because for next year there's a lot of exciting things coming up, and yeah, I just will keep you updated with those latest and greatest developments. Now, look at the updates. So what is the latest? The latest on the Microsoft website for November is the 0701. This is the latest and greatest, and a lot of things are happening there. So I will probably expect that we're gonna embed that in one of the newer PolyOS versions, but for now, as I said, if you need to update, make sure you do that through Teams Admin Center. There's a lot of new things in there, and of course I will run them through one by one. The first one which I wanted to quickly mention is the custom background, because this is one which I really like. So you can just have now a custom background both on your left screen, if you got dual screen, on your right screen, and on the touch panel. You can actually now push out a custom background, and you do that through Teams Admin Center, through a configuration profile, and you can push it out. Make sure you got that specific layout, that specific resolution, that format, so it's able to digest it correctly. And of course, I will put in the descriptions a reference to those things so you're able to find them very quickly, because I think personally it's a really powerful one and you don't see any difference anymore. If you got now an Android room or you got an MTR Windows room, you don't see it anymore. You could have your company corporate logo on the background and you get your maybe a QR code or reference or support number if you need people to be able to find it quickly. I really like that. So this is available now through the Teams app on Android, custom background. Now, one of the newer things now, which come along in the latest Teams application, is dual display mode. And dual display mode means that you're able to swap between screens. So let's say the connectors were not correctly put into the Studio X device. Now you can swap like from right to left, from left to right if needed. You could swap the screens now. This was already something available in the Windows version, and now it's also available in the Android version. And it could be that an installer just put in the cables, but maybe they put it incorrectly. It could always be possible, but in that case, you could now switch between those screens and make sure that these are aligned correctly with the meeting room. So this is available now through the settings on your Teams application. And the next one, which is also I'm personally really excited about, is the 3x3 video now on both screens. Oh yeah, so if you got a dual screen, you can put now up to 18 participants in total on your screen. But be aware, only on a second generation device. So X32, X52, X72 only has the horsepower to drive this. So this is one of those features which will benefit from the new hardware available on the X series. But really powerful. I don't know how to see all those participants on those both screens, but I think if you got some bigger screens, you should be able to see those. You got those bigger layouts. They're really nice. The next one is Receive Cloud IntelliFrame. So you could now, if you don't have a camera that supports AI capability, people framing capability, then you could do it now also in the cloud. With Studio X, this functionality is directly done on the Studio X itself. Even with the first generation, this was already done, and that was called people framing. And that makes sure that participants who are in the room getting all framed correctly. I think this is a really nice feature. The camera just digitally captures the participants in the room up to 6 and make sure that they're all visible on the screen. Now this can now also be done through the Azure cloud to the Teams cloud, but again not needed. We do this efficiently with the Studio X itself, but just good to know that is available now. There are some whiteboard enhancements. So now if you start a whiteboard, you didn't set up a meeting and you start a whiteboard, you start a meeting, then the whiteboard will be taken into the meeting. So it is completely retained. And this was in the past, like if you start a meeting, you got a fresh whiteboard, etc. So this is much more in the workflow of Teams. You start something, you start sharing something, you start a whiteboard, take it in the meeting, and people are able to collaborate on that. So this is also available now with the latest release. We got also the Net Promoter Score, also brand new. So now if you just walk out of the room, you stop the meeting, you're able to set now a score for the room. So how was the quality, how was the room, how was the audio, etc. You can set a score, and then the admin is able to review that. They can also disable that if you don't want to provide this to the user, but this is now also available with the Teams app client. Another thing is the admin email support. So in case there is an issue, now directly a message can be sent through to the admin to support it. So I think also a nice feature if you need to supply that. And this is configured under the device settings. Very easy. You can even collect some logging information if needed, and probably something which is usually request from customers, probably something that was needed for some rooms to be able to handle any issues very quickly. Now, if in any case you run into issues, you got your Teams application, it's just stuck somehow or not working properly, you can reset Studio X, and you can also reset the TC10. So there's a pin underneath where you can do a pin reset, and that makes sure that your Teams app will go back to the previous version also. You can do similar things in the web UI of the Studio X, where you say reset all configuration, will also bring it back. But usually what I recommend is do the pinhole reset, because that actually brings you back to the factory Themes app version which was coming along in the software. So before you did any updates in Themes Admin Center. So in case needed, you can do that. It's also available on the TC8 or TC10 through the interface of those devices. You go here under the admin, you log in. It's not available as a user, of course. Then you can also do reset this device, and we'll get back to that factory image. Now, what I always recommend is write down the serial number, because if you do that factory reset and you didn't like configure any like lens onboarding through DHCP, etc., it will have the default admin. The password is the last 6 digits of the serial number, and then you're able to log in, and you can set your provider again if you're on the latest versions. Remember, you can just easily go through the wizard, select your video provider. This is a quick way to get started. But if you want to go in the web UI to configure some specifics, then make sure you write down that serial number up front. And finally, with version 4.4, I can only mention this, not enough. Look at the release notes. Here you find an overview of all the applications and the versions, also the references to the vendor, to the different websites. docs.poly.com is really your way to go. There's a lot of things also in the release notes, looking at the microphone support, looking at third-party extenders, third-party cable extenders, the different DSPs that are supported. They are being updated with every new release, so make sure you check those release notes out where you can find these. One where I'm also really excited about is the reference guide. The integrator reference guide is available now. There's a compatibility guide. There's really a lot of new information there on the docs.poly.com. And again, I will make sure in the description that I'll put links to all those websites so you have them available, because I know a lot of the customers and partners are always looking to diagrams, how does all things come together, which is supported, which camera, etc. Well, that is all being made available now. So hopefully with this video I can make sure that you all have access to those resources. And then rest me only in those final moments of 2024 to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.